everyone, and welcome back to Mach 1 Mindset. Today we're diving into AP European History 1.11, Causation in the Renaissance and Age of Discovery. Now before we get started, please make sure you like, subscribe, and of course comment down below if you have any questions. Let's dive into it. Today we're going to analyze the causation in the Renaissance and the Age of Discovery by examining how cultural, economic, technological, and political changes reinforced one another and reshaped Europe between roughly 1450 and 1700. The Renaissance began as a cultural movement rooted in the rediscovery of the classical Greek and Roman text. Humanism emphasized individual potential, secular learning, and critical thinking. These ideas weakened unquestioned obedience to traditional authorities, especially the Catholic Church, and encouraged Europeans to value education, scientific inquiry, and worldly achievement. This intellectual shift has direct consequences. Renaissance humanism promoted advances in science, mathematics, and engineering, which supported technological innovation. Improvement in cartography, navigation tools such as the compass and the astrolabe, and ship designs like the caravel made long-distance sea travel safer and more efficient. At the same time, economic motivations pushed Europeans outward. The decline of feudalism and the rise of market-based economies encouraged trade and capital accumulation. European states sought new sources of gold, silver, luxury goods, especially spices, to increase wealth and power. These economic pressures, combined with technological progress, directly caused the Age of Discovery. As European exploration expanded, overseas empires developed. Monarchs sponsored voyages to secure trade routes, spread Christianity, and gained strategic advantage over rival states. Competition among European powers intensified, leading to colonial rivalries and frequent warfare. Wealth from colonies strengthened centralized monarchies, allowing rulers to build standing armies and bureaucracies. The Columbian Exchange produced some of the most significant long-term effects. The exchange of crops, animals, people, and diseases between the Old and New Worlds transformed global economies and societies. American crops, such as potatoes and maize, improved European diets and caused population growth. At the same time, European diseases devastated indigenous populations in the Americas. Economic systems changed as a result. The demand for labor on plantations led to the expansion of the transatlantic slave trade. Enslaved Africans were forcibly transported to the Americas to produce cash crops, such as sugar, tobacco, and cotton. This labor system increased European wealth by causing massive human suffering and long-term demographic changes. The growth of colonial trade encouraged the commercial revolution. Banking innovations, joint stock companies, and mercantilist policies emerged to manage global commerce. Wealth increasingly flowed through the Atlantic trade routes, shifting Europe's economic center away from the Mediterranean and towards Atlantic states like Spain, Portugal, England, France, and the Netherlands. These economic changes reinforced political centralization. Monarchs used colonial profits to strengthen their authority, reduce the power of the nobles, and control religious institutions. The result was the rise of a stronger, more centralized states that relied less on feudal obligations and church approval. Environmental and social consequences soon followed. European farming methods caused deforestation and soil depletion in the colonies. Urbanization increased as displaced peasants migrated to cities. Social inequality deepened as merchants and landowners gained wealth while wages stagnated for workers. In conclusion, the Renaissance and the Age of Discovery were not isolated developments. Humanist ideas encouraged scientific and technological progress, which enabled exploration. Exploration led to empire building, global trade, and economic transformation. These changes strengthened states, expanded capitalism, and reshaped societies across Europe, Africa, and the Americas. Together, these interconnected causes and effects laid the foundation for the modern global world.